Welcome. Thank you for joining. This is Luke Johnson, Strategic Consultant with Automated Voice and Data Solutions. Today we're going to be discussing a really exciting concept and technology in the contact center. We're going to be talking about visual IVR. Visual IVR essentially helps organizations and call centers alike exceed all of their goals associated with lowering internal costs while preserving and delivering an exceptional customer experience. The first question we all look at when we discuss this is well, how does that happen? In providing visual IVR, the visual nature of that experience increases metrics like self-service resolution rate, decreases things like inbound call volume, and kind of as an additional benefit, durations of those inbound calls are shorter once they arrive in the contact center. And we've got an expert with us today, Yaron Ben-Slush, the Associate Vice President of Strategic Partnership with Jacada, has joined us. And as you've seen over the series of Coffee and Conversation presentations, AVDS has partnered with other leaders in contact center technology and communications tools to help all of our clients continue to improve upon their service deliverables and provide their clients with the best experience possible. So with no further ado, I will turn the presentation over to Yaron. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Luke. Good morning, everyone. My name is Yaron Ben-Slush, and I'm running the Strategic Alliance at Jacada, and I'm very happy about the partnership we developed together with AVDS. And for the topic of today, the key takeaway that we want you to leave the meeting with is to really understand how the joint value proposition of Jacada AVDS can help organizations increase adoption into self-service and reduce the end-user effort when they interact with the organization. So in one way, we are looking into increased adoption, and even more important, we are looking into a way to increase containment rate within the self-service. And this is all great. And also for those customers that cannot complete successfully on the self-service, we need to make sure that we really connect them contextually to what they have done on the self-service. So I will also walk you today into the concept of contextual channel hopping and see how we do that with the Jacada solution. We have prepared a demo. We will walk you through a real experience from the end user and both from the agent in case the discussion is going in and connected into an assistant agent. We will walk you through a results from field, a case study that we have developed for deployed with a Fortune 50 organization in North America. We look into different use cases that we deployed and talk in general about different industry and vertical, and we leave some time for a Q&A in the end. So this is the key objective for the call. I will go ahead and start with the presentation. Maybe a few words about Jacada. Jacada has been in business since 1990. It's more than 25 years that we are in business. We are a pure customer care technology company, and we deliver software that helps the large enterprise organization and mid-scale organization to improve the customer experience and to simplify the interaction between the end user and the organization. Traditionally, we have done that on the physical channel, on the voice, in front of an agent, and today we are going to focus into the next generation platform that develop interaction across any given touch point. Now, the solution that Jacada deployed is being used by millions of customers across thousands, tens of thousands of agents that using that on a daily basis. You can see here a sample of different organizations that already deployed Jacada solution. We are looking into the organization in the scale of DirecTV, Cox, Conifer, Best Buy, Priceline, Blue Cross Blue Shield. So you see a set of different organizations from different industries and different verticals. With regards to respect to Jacada, it's a global organization. The headquarters is based out of Atlanta, Georgia. This is where we run the operation also for North America. And with respect to go-to-market, we basically a technology partner for the majority of the infrastructure provider, whether that will be Interactive Intelligence, Cisco, Avaya, Aspect, Genesis. And we go to market globally with the large SI and locally for different regions with local SI as we do with AVDS here in North America. Now, if I quickly walk you through the entire offering from Jacada and see where we are going to focus today. So basically, Jacada optimizes the interaction between the end user, between the front end, all what you have here in the front end in terms of the different touch points, all the way to the very back end, so integration into IT environment, into the CRM, product, ordering, account and billing, whatever you have in the back end. And Jacada solution connect between the two. Traditionally, we have a very strong capability to run integration and automation between different back-end applications and to drive efficiency and automation into the customer care operation task. We come with a concept of unified agent desktop where we actually consolidate all the different applications that the agent work with into one single presentation layer, and we equip the agent with the process guidance, best next step types of workflow, so make sure that we really compliance with business objective, with regulation, etc. And in the last 4 years, and this is where we are going to focus today, we develop our customer interaction platform, which really enable end user to interact with the organization across any given touch point. We empower customers with better access to IT tools and to information, with the objective that they will complete the interaction on the self-service side. And if they cannot complete that on the self-service side, we can connect them to an assistant agent contextually. And the benefits of that will be we reduce the cost of operation in customer care, we drive more efficiency and productivity, we improve the end user experience, and as a result, the loyalty and the stickiness to the brand. And of course, when we have such a powerful visual interaction platform, we can drive campaigns for upsell and cross-sell while we have the end user engage with the organization. So this is on a very high level. Today we are mainly going to focus here on the interaction platform, and we are looking mainly on the voice side of the interaction and how we convert that into an easy visual interaction. And when we look into an omni-channel interaction platform, we are looking into 3 main categories. We are looking into a channel of choice, so we really enable customers to connect across any given channel, and they have the choice to choose so. We are looking into how to deploy and implement a consistent customer experience across the different channels. And latest, we're looking into a cross-channel connectivity. So when the consumer already spends on the website, on the mobile app, on the social media, point of sale, kiosk, whatever that will be, they did some authentication process. They can define call intent. They can try to do some effort to come into resolution. If they cannot complete that successfully, and we have to drive them into an alternative channel, we have to make sure that we can really map and store the entire customer journey. And when we move them from one channel to another, we actually carry the entire context of what they have done on channel A when we move them to channel B. And we will demonstrate how we do that during the demonstration. So if we look into Visual IVR and how Visual IVR can help organizations to simplify the interaction with the organization, maybe first it makes sense to look into what are the pains we see today in the IVR domain and in the way customers engage with the organization. So what I'm going to walk you through now is looking into the distribution of how consumers engage with organization today. We see that about 60% of the consumer, they will try to do some sort of self-service before they actually pick up the phone and call into the contact center. And they can do it over the website, over the mobile, over other channels. And the nice piece of that is 30% of them manage to complete that successfully. And the point of failure is actually the rest of the 70%. They will have to revert into the voice channel. And today, there is no continuity. When you move from the website and you pick up the phone and call into the agent has no clue who you are and what you are calling about, and you will have to start all over again. So this is one point. The rest of the 40% are actually pick up the phone directly and call into the organization 1-800 number. And they bump into the IVR. You like it or not, IVR is not the best tool to drive self-service, mainly because the nature of IVR, which is limited to voice only. If you look into visual, when you can do more with visual, you can definitely offer a better experience for the customer with regards to their experience. So we are looking into three major pains. One is the missing of continuity. The second one is the excessive call volume that actually end up run into the voice channel. And the third one is into the customer experience. And maybe it makes sense to look into visual IVR and see how visual IVR can really address these pains. So with visual IVR, what we mainly try to do is we try to convert the interaction from a voice interaction into a visual interaction. And of course, once we integrate a platform to do a visual interaction, we can actually enhance the option and the feature and the capability that we enable the customer to use. Why is that? Because we can easily exchange multimedia information, we can easily type in alphanumeric material, we can extract CRM data and integrate that into the customer interaction, so the customer interaction will be tied into the real customer situation, what is the call intent, what are the open tickets that we have with the customer, etc., etc. And all in all, we are looking into driving deflection and reduce the AHT, and I will explain that in a second. So if we look into visual IVR and try to map that into the matrix of pain that we discussed a minute ago, so first we have the option to increase the adoption and to optimize the self-service offering. This is one, and we have proof for that, and I will walk you through that in a second. The second element, for those customers that abandoned self-service, what can we do? We can actually capture the entire customer journey on the visual IVR platform, whether they come from the social media, website, the mobile application, just calling from the mobile, and we can present that in front of the agent in case the call has to be assisted to be routed into an assistant agent. So when the agent picks up the phone, the agent has a screen pop, he knows who the customer is, the customer in most cases will be authenticated, and he can understand what was the real point of failure in the customer experience. The third element, we are looking into those customers that actually dial into the IVR. And what we are offering with visual IVR, we will offer this customer that actually connected with the data-enabled device. We will actually offer them to opt in into visual experience, and I will demonstrate that in a second. So all in all, if we are looking into what are the objectives with the visual IVR implementation, in one hand, we are looking into increased adoption and increased deflection on the self-service side. And on the other end, if we cannot complete successfully the call on the self-service side, we can drive that into the contact center, and we can do it contextually, so we can really drop the effort on the agent side and on the consumer side with a contextual handover, so the agent can drive the discussion immediately into a solution. Maybe just 1 minute here, just to talk about the architecture and how the solution is look like. So what you see here on the top is the different touch points that we can actually deploy visual IVR over. So that could be a web engagement, mobile engagement, or voice engagement. And this is the platform in the middle, and the platform has three major components. What you see here to the left is the integration into the IVR, and I'm presenting here integration into interactive intelligent IVR, but the platform itself doesn't have any technology barrier, and we basically build the plugin and certification to the major IVR vendors that are in the marketplace, Avaya, Cisco, Aspect, Genesys, etc. So we have an integration into the IVR, and this is nice. We can actually take the VXML file or the decision tree and all the investment you put into the IVR, and we reuse that into a visual presentation. And the second element of the platform is the designer. Once you introduce a visual capability, in most cases when we work with business and try to understand what are the business use case, what will be the practical use case that we want to introduce into customer, we come into conclusion that we want to augment the decision tree. We want to offer additional feature and an option to the customer because of the visual capability. And we can do that easily with a drag and drop type of a visual designer that could be used by a business user. So after a 1-2 day training, a business user can actually create decision tree and workflow, test that in a secure environment, and then populate the new flow across the different touch points. So you can design and build once, and you can populate and publish across the different touch points. And the third element is, again, looking into those customers that will have to be routed into an assistant agent. And we want to make sure that the agent has a screen pop. And in the screen pop, the agent can see whatever the customer has done on the self-service side. The customer is authenticated, so we don't have to start all over again with the customer. We can greet him with his name, and we can drive immediately the discussion into the point of failure that we have on the self-service side. So this is for the architecture. And what I want to do now is maybe actually walk you through a demonstration that we capture in a video, and walk you through the entire call flow, how the customer engage with the organization, how we transfer a customer from a voice channel into a visual channel, and what are the capabilities that we can offer on the visual. So basically what we are going to do, I'm going to kind of pick up the phone and call into the 1-800 number of the organization. We augment the IVR with additional audio prompt that offer customer to opt in to a better customer experience. The customer that decides to opt in, click 1, and we send them an SMS. And within an SMS, there will be a URL. They click the URL, and they immediately go into the visual interaction. There is no need to do any pre-configuration. There is no need to download a native mobile app or anything else. The solution is designed based on HTTL4 and 5, and the interaction will start immediately on the consumer device. Now, the consumer will go through the workflow, and either he complete successfully, and if not, he will connect to an agent. He will choose what channel he want to connect to, chat or voice or a callback, whatever that will be. And we will also share with you the agent screen pop, which captures the entire customer journey. So let me walk through the video. So this is the video. I will start it now. So I'm actually.
Thank you for calling KCM Telecom. If you are on your smartphone, please press 1 so that we may send you some important information and quickly give you the help you need.
So basically, we call in, we get into the IVR, and the IVR is this option that offers us to opt in into a visual experience. We click 1, and we are.
Thank you. We have sent you text message with a link to our visual review. The visual review will help us collect information to connect you to the best agent. Please don't hang up, and the tone of the link and the text that you just received.
So we got the SMS, and the customer is clicking on the URL, and he will run immediately into the visual IVR application.
Please confirm the phone number associated with your KCM account.
So we can do first level of authentication by phone number, and if that's enough for the organization, we can go ahead with that. If we need to do a second level of authentication, we can ask customer to type in some credentials and customer information.
To ensure the privacy of your account information, please sign in using one of these secure options.
So we can easily do email sign-in. We can provide a PIN or a secret question. So let's assume that we are choosing the secret questions.
Answer your secret question.
So I can easily type in alphanumeric information. And I've been referring to the visual menu. And typically the first menu that we will present, we look into call intent. So what are you calling about? Whether that could be an internet issue in that case, a TV issue, maybe a billing, or something else. So the customer selects here to go with billing.
Did you know you simplified your bill? Please watch this video to find answers for frequently asked questions and bill adjustments.
So if the customer is calling for billing, there are different options that we can offer them. What we present here, for example, is we're sharing some multimedia content. So we are actually sharing a tutorial video on the application to walk the customer into the basic Q&A. This part of your bill do you need help with? So understand that we have some billing question and we want to break it down to what part of the bill you have a question with, so the customer can actually see a breakdown of the billing. That was a little bit too fast, sorry. They can define which one of the accounts they have issue with, which is a specific telephone number, general into the account, or something else, or maybe internet connectivity. And then we can provide more information. And then you can understand the concept. We can walk the customer into a workflow and offer them more self-service option. And assuming that the customer cannot complete successfully, we can now drive them into connection into the contact center. So we can do it over a different channel. It could be email, chat, directly connect to the voice channel, or request for a callback. So the call is transferred now into an agent. And I want to show you now maybe the side of the agent. So we capture everything the customer has done on the self-service side, and we have the complete visual of the interaction flow. So we know who the customer is. When the agent pick up the phone, the agent know who the customer is, what he was calling about, what was the flow that he took through the interaction, and he can, from here, drive immediately the discussion into resolution. So I want to stop here on the video and go back into the presentation. So that was the demonstration. If there are any questions, you can type a question anytime on the chat window that you have on the application, and we can answer any question that you may have. So that was for the demo. Now I want to spend maybe 3 or 4 minutes to really walk you through a case study that we deploy here with it's a Fortune 50 organization on the West Coast. It's a software provider, and we've been engaged with this organization for a year before we actually started deployment, being into a technology evaluation and validate the use case and the benefits with business and with the customer experience department in the organization. And they took us into a pilot with one application. So we signed a contract end of July, and they asked us to be in production early October. So in a matter of 8 weeks, we moved from signing a contract into deployment. We are looking into a product activation. So this company is selling software. You buy the software, you get a sequence of about 32 digits that you have to type in, traditionally into an IVR or in front of an agent. And we want to push that into a visual experience and see what the result will be. So these are the results that we capture after 3 months in production. So with regards to self-service increase, we increased the containment rate with additional 11 points on top of what the IVR was doing. And that was big in terms of saving. When we are looking into adoption, so we offer customers to opt in into a service that they are not familiar with, and we see that about almost 50% of the customers that were calling from a data-enabled device, from a mobile device, actually choose to do so. So they opt in, and the most encouraging piece is the customer satisfaction. So we're running a survey by the end of the experience, and we ask customers to rate the application. So it's a visual survey. They have 5 questions, and they easily click rating per question of 1 out of 5. And over 99% of the customer rate the application for the entire set of 5 questions over 4.5 out of 5. And I will share with you a little bit more into that in a second. If we look into the customer effort, and that was the objective of the business, to reduce the effort and to justify the investment, so we actually shave off 70% of the time effort the consumer has to activate the software piece. So we are moving from a 4.2 minutes activation over IVR into 1.2 minutes activation over visual IVR. So that was great on the customer experience, but also for the organization, when we look into the ROI and the business case, so for just one use case across one line of business, we managed to save about $1.5 million annually. And the ROI in this case was in a matter of 3.5 months. Now, once business realized what is the level of satisfaction from the consumer, and what you see here, we actually copy out, we extract out a specific word that was replying in the 15,000 survey that we capture in the first 3 months. So this is what customers think about the application. 338 people say thank you, and this is not something common for a customer care organization. And you see the rest. It's awesome, great job, Europe, very easy, cool, coders. Basically, it's make the customer life easier. They can come easily to resolution, and the customer really appreciate that. Now, once business realize the saving factor and the customer experience, this is where we are today. We are actually now into deployment into three additional line of business, and we are basically looking into an aggregate annual saving of a saving in the range of 7.5 million, and we are still counting as we are rolling out actually overseas. And not just for English, also across the seas with foreign languages. So this is what I want to share with you with regards to this case study. And maybe talk a little bit outside of this specific one and share with you what we experience generally in the market across vertical and industry. We do see the application being adopted across different organizations. We are deploying a case about the product activation. We are definitely looking to billing inquiry, technical support, road assistance, subscription renewal, travel and booking. So really, we see a set of different applications across vertical and across industry, and we see a mix of inbound and outbound campaign. One of the applications that we are running is for large IT organization. They have a database of about few million customer credit card information in the database, and when they do look up, they can understand when the credit card information is going to be expired. So they can actually reach out to customer with the visual interaction and ask them if they want to update the new credit card information. So it's a mix of inbound and outbound across different verticals. And I think this is it in general for the presentation. I think if we really want to sum up and look into the key takeaway from the presentation, and doing a business workshop and review with business owner in a large organization, I think the key takeaway that what organization want to achieve, apart from the deflection and running efficiency and productivity in the customer care, they want to make sure that they well serve the consumer, and they want to do it by reducing the effort. So the key objective that we see across different vertical and industry is business objective to reduce the customer effort. And we definitely see how we can achieve that with visual IVR. Another point, of course, is to drive, to take care for both bottom line and top line, and make sure that we really drive efficiency and productivity in the customer care organization. And if we can make it easy for customers to do the interaction themselves and we don't have to connect them in front of an agent, that's perfect. It's a win. It's a call we don't have to take. That could range in a saving per call from $3 to $5, $6. It depends on the use case. And still, if we do need to connect the consumer, and we know that the consumer invests the effort in the self-service side, we can do it contextually as we demonstrate, and the agent have the complete customer journey, so he can really drive the discussion into resolution, saving effort on the agent side, driving lower cost of operation for the enterprise organization, but also better serve the customer by reducing the time he has to spend in front of an agent. And of course, as an organization, you compete in the marketplace, and you have to make sure that you really equip your consumer with an easy way and a simple way to interact with you, so you really drive a competitive edge to your customer care organization. So I think this is it. We try to keep it short for about half an hour, so we keep the discussion in momentum. And I think now what makes sense maybe to go into some Q&A and see if anyone in the forum has any questions.
Excellent. That was a great presentation, Yaron. Thank you very much. I do have, it looks like 4 questions in so far. If any of you out there have anything you're curious about, feel free to enter it in, as Yaron mentioned, into the questions part of the GoToWebinar interface. So the first one comes in, it's a little longer, it looks like it's kind of a 2-part question. What is the most common business objective you see in the field? Is it more for IVR deflection or more for contextual transfer?
Perfect. That's a great question, and I think whenever we come into, we introduce the concept into organization, when we sit with the business guys, we really try to understand what is their business goal and objective. And I think it's a mix of two. I think all the organizations, especially large organizations that handling an excessive call volume, they want to see if they can really keep part of the interaction outside of the contact center. I think we all understand what will be the impact on the total cost of ownership, on reducing staffing, and let the agent be focused on serving customer better. So definitely, we in one hand, we were looking into deflection, but on the other hand, I think we demonstrate that in the presentation. We want to make sure that customer that being access to the self-service piece and try to complete, and maybe they spend 5 to 10 minutes over the self-service side. If they cannot complete that successfully, they're already in some level of frustration, and we really want to make it easy for them. So think about you as a consumer. If you spend 10 time on the website and you cannot complete your order successfully, and you go in front of the agent, and the agent know who you are. You're actually trying to book a flight from Atlanta to San Francisco on December 20, and you cannot complete your interaction successfully, and it can just drive you into the payment piece, that would be an excellent customer experience. So definitely it's a mix of both deflection and reduction of effort if we connect into the agent.
Okay, excellent. The second one, great presentation so far. How complicated is it to integrate existing CRM data into self-service menus that you provide?
Perfect. I think this is something that we actually deploy in field, and I think that could be something that can really boost the experience from the consumer side. So if you think about it, if you are a consumer running an interaction on the visual IVR, and I can really extract from the backend, from the CRM, information which is relevant for you, like where is my order, if you have a ticket open, and I can update you on status on the visual menu, that could really be an excellent customer experience, and this is something that we do. So if we look into Jacada and we go back into our core competence, so we develop our competence for integration platform. So we know how to integrate to any backend system, whether that will be a CRM or inventory or order system or billing, whatever that will be, and we can, based on business rule, we can actually extract relevant information, and we can make that available on the visual menu. So the agent can really run an interaction in context of what they want to achieve. So definitely this is something that we do when we deploy in field.
Okay, great, thanks. This next one actually came in twice, so we'll just read it once, but is the solution software as a service / cloud or on-premise?
So the solution is available on both options. So we have some healthcare organizations that are more strict into security and they want to have an on-prem solution. So we support both models. We support an on-prem implementation and we support a cloud-based solution. The solution is offered over the Amazon Web Services, and it's on a high resilience and availability. It's supporting few Fortune 200 organizations here in North America. So it's available for both. The majority of the organizations that we deploy with are choosing to go with the cloud, with the SaaS offering. Of course, that reduces the CapEx investment that you have to put upfront compared to going on-prem. But of course, in terms of technology, we can support both options.
All right, thank you. Looks like a couple more. This one just came in. Have you seen this deployed in higher educational institutions, or maybe expand that to specifically higher ed, but any education use cases might be interesting here?
I think I can speak about two applications that we deployed into the education vertical. First one is basically to do a survey. So if you have an educational institute that want to send out to students to fill up a survey about whatever that will be. So think about doing that visually compared to do it on an audio platform. When you go in audio and you have 5 questions, that will probably take you maybe 2 minutes to complete the entire set of questions and click your answer. What we experience with the visual on the survey side, think about visual presentation of 5 questions that we typically design into one web page, and you can easily click your way and rate the application into that. So this is one we implement for education organization, a survey application that was highly adopted by the student. This is one. The second one is basically an organization that dealing with the student loans. So they can run some application and apply for a loan through the visual IVR menu. They have to, it's relatively, this one is relatively a complex process. They have to type in a lot of information, but they can easily do it on a visual compared to do it in front of an agent. Now, and it's important to consider that visual IVR does not come to replace any type of application and system that the organization already deploy on the self-service side. We are not trying to capture the entire call volume in the visual IVR. We just want to find area of inefficiency and to augment the offering and the service with the visual IVR. And I think if we look into that across different organizations, there are always room to come and offer some better experience or area that we have gap in the offering, or we have failure in the experience that customer has, so we can go out and augment that with the visual IVR. And also with regards to whether the organization want to drive complete deflection, we somehow have organizations that only want to take portion of the interaction into the self-service. For example, just the authentication process. Sometimes authentication could be quite cumbersome if security is a key issue, and it could be a process that can take in front of an agent in a matter of 1 to 2 minutes. So think about just, we deploy for large organization, just pushing the authentication side into the self-service. And that was result into a great saving for this organization. So yeah, we do have some education, as I mentioned, in the survey, in the loan application, and I will be more than happy to have a further discussion and see if we can build something together for this organization.
Okay, excellent. Next, you may have covered this already slightly. This came in early. How do you display the information to the agent when a customer calls?
Okay, so basically what we are doing, we capture the entire customer information and we have a raw data. And we let the business decide what is relevant to really present in front of the agent. We can basically present everything, and what I demonstrate in the demo is just one-to-one capture of the end user steps. But different business has different objectives, and some organizations decide that they just want to extract part of the information. And the way we do it is basically we do an API integration into the existing agent application desktop, and we are just nesting the Jacada screen, and we can have that as a portlet or as a URL that come up and pop in front of the agent when the agent pick up the phone. So immediately when the agent pick up the phone, he has a screen pop. You can see the customer information that the business decide it's relevant for them, and they can also have a process guidance to guide them through what would be the best next step to take the call with this specific consumer. So I hope that answered the question.
It sounds good, and if not, we can obviously encourage all the attendees to reach out to me directly to coordinate a little bit deeper dialogue. My contact information is up on the screen there. So I welcome all attendees to reach out, and we can kind of continue the conversation, perhaps a little more focused on your particular organization needs and goals. But those are the end of the questions. Yaron, thank you for the great presentation. I feel like we'll have plenty of conversations like this with the customers who attended today as well. So just a quick reminder to everyone who attended, this meeting will be recorded. If you'd like to get a copy of it, let me know, and we can help you share that throughout your organization. Additionally, your Starbucks gift card for attending will be emailed out, I think, by the end of business today. And with that, again, we thank you for attending. These are very fun for us to introduce new technology to all of our customers. and we look forward to carrying on the conversation with you guys going forward. So thank you, Yaron, and thank you to Jacada, and y'all have a great rest of the week and a great afternoon.
Thank you very much.